Dun-dun-dun-dun. All right. Here we go. All right. Where is this? Ba-dum-bum. Perfectly timed. All right, folks. So, what am I doing? Quick art. So, how do I put this? So, technically, this is Game Cave work. I didn't have a whole Game Cave intro, but whatevs. So, there's a bunch of random art that I did for Game Cave. It's like 50 pieces, and I'd say somewhere between like 10 or 15 of them have up in. There was a transfer of stuff from my previous business associate to me, and some of my art disappeared in that fucking transfer. We don't know where it went. I don't believe he threw it away because everything else was there. I just think it happened. So, so the last year avoiding this, hoping I'd find it. I haven't. So I got about 15 pieces to do over the next few months. Random video game art. So I had an initial list with the Game Cave. I gotta kind of stick to it. So there's supposed to be Copics, but I don't really feel like doing 20 Copic pieces because I like painting. So I will be doing these as Aussies. So I'm gonna do the line arts and then I'll paint, and we'll do this back and forth over the course of the next few months as I get into Game Cave gear. I'm gonna try and do this about an hour every day, basically. So we'll see how that goes. Between 9 and 10, 9 and 11 or so. We'll see how that goes. I got between podcast stuff and everything else. I'm a little bit behind on podcasting posting this week, but that's because I ran into some technical issues. And rather than spend forever trying to get the podcast up, I'll just save that for the last thing I do every night. I'm not in the mood. So in the meantime, let's draw some Darkstalkers. Now, I did a rough digital layout here. It's just some blobs and shit. So basically just gonna come up with my own version of, I don't know these guys' names, Merdude and shit. Merman guy. Whatever. So Rikuo, right. I don't know. I never bothered to memorize their names. I'd love the game. But actually, the world of the Darkstalkers, that visual, I liked even more than Street Fighter. Truth be told. I didn't think the gameplay was as good though. The fighting seemed more gimmicky. So I got like Killer Instinct dudes to do. Because initially I had pitched Game Cave as like this tribute to fighting games, which it kind of hasn't become. So still got to maintain some of the art that I had pitched. So kind of sucks because I kind of drew these, but I've kind of thrown away all my initial ideas, and I'm just gonna start over from scratch because I don't feel like tracing over 2-year-old art. So. Yo.
Hello. I'm guessing you're streaming, correct?
You would be guessing correctly.
Hooray. What are you working on?
Some of that leftover random art that got lost for Game Cave. It's like 15 different pieces and then one commission. So that was the commission I redid last night. And now I'll give myself a year to hopefully I could find it. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm like I looked everywhere, man. I don't know. You know, there was a transfer of stuff and mostly everything made it, but some of my original art just did not. You know, for whatever
Right.
reason. So I don't know what happened, but it's got to get done either way. So
Right.
because all that shit sold. Luckily, it was just like picking from ideas. So whatever I draw, pretty much. But trying to stick to the initial list I gave them. So. What else?
We were working on the Batgirl earlier.
Yeah, why?
I'm just curious. I'm making talk here, you know, chit chat, things, words. Just asking. I briefly saw it on Instagram that
We'll
the
be working
initial
on some more.
roughing.
Yeah. We'll be working on some more tomorrow. I have to get back to my schedule. I can't just be chasing the next thing, you know, every waking hour. So I popped that sucker open and reset it up, and I had to adjust some of the printing stuff. And then I have to actually work on a couple little items on that tomorrow, and then I'll start drawing it. I should be able to get all the line art done tomorrow.
Is that the dude from Darkstalkers?
I just said, yeah, it's Darkstalkers. Never mind. Sometimes when you're typing, you don't hear what I'm saying.
Hmm. Nope. I was bringing it up. My computer was acting funky. Did you say his name?
Johnny typed it for me. Rikuyo? 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 I don't know. Merman dude, man.
Right.
Fuck, I know. I like the universe of the Darkstalkers more than Street Fighter, but the fighting mechanic was a little gimmicky compared to Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I don't know why my chat won't come up. Whatever. I didn't restart the computer, but
Yeah, well, that's why.
Hmm.
Your computer doesn't have much in the way of memory, bro. It's
Right.
very limited.
Did Hector watch the video you made?
No, I haven't posted any of it yet.
Hmm.
I'm not letting the podcast take up one more extra hour than I've allotted. So I will get everything's gonna get pushed back a little bit this week, but you know, all those technical issues ate into time, and the podcast doesn't bring in the fucking money, you know. So
Right.
it's just gonna have to like wait an extra day. Drawing's more important right now, so. And I've been able to work on Game Cave in over a week, so I have to get back to my regularly published scheduled program, whatever. And these all have to be drawn before they're re-inked and painted, so yeah, it's like double duty. What are you doing?
Would you like me to mute it?
No, you're just tapping on a lot of keys. What are you doing?
I am organizing that reference folder I need to send you, and I was just making sure.
Alright, just don't slam on the keys.
I'm just clicking the mouse.
Kill him. It sounds like you're tapping things.
I'm a giant. Smash, smash, smash.
Yeah, well, you're a little loud.
Sorry. You drawing on bristle?
No. They're the same cans and mixed media paper.
Oh, the ones you do the watercolors on?
Yeah. It's got a little tooth, which I like. I just decided that, you know, if I were to ever... I'm going to use this to draw, like, all the Game Cave interiors, too.
Mm-hmm.
But it means re-inking. You know, like, digitally inking over it, so... I just like to draw on it because of the tooth. You know?
Right.
So. And it's pretty cheap.
Do you see the showrunner from Daredevil Season 1 is going to direct Pacific Rim 2?
Sure, because I watched Collider. But I did see it last night before it came out on Collider. So.
Oh,
They
nice.
broke that news in China because it must have, because it fucking came out like around midnight.
Uh-huh.
It's ridiculous. Well, I knew there had to be a reason he wasn't coming back to the show, you know? And I was like, it had to be a movie. So I was just waiting for the announcements. He was in the writer's room for the Transformers stuff, so there's a good chance he had ideas there that might get reused, you know?
So, can you kind of explain what a showrunner does?
You know how like a director gets all the credit, you know what I mean, and runs
Mm-hmm.
a movie? That's what a showrunner does. Showrunner writes, you know, all the major treatments. They have their hand in all the scripts. They assemble the team. They maintain the tone of the entire show. Whoever directs an episode of something is irrelevant, essentially, on a TV show. It's the showrunner that sets the tone of the show. So Tom King was the guy who wrote, Tom or Tim King? I think Tim King did Heroes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, Joss Whedon was showrunner on Buffy. Case in point. So, makes a big difference. And initially, Drew Goddard was showrunner on Daredevil, and then he backed out to go do the Sinister Six stuff. And Stephen DeKnight took over.
When like with Daredevil, when a new showrunner comes in, are they allowed to kind of do their own thing, or they got to keep with what the last person did?
They're allowed to do whatever a showrunner, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they call the shots, dude. So, if they don't maintain the vision, then they don't have to. You know? But the guys that took over for Daredevil, they were heavily involved in the latter half of season 1. So I'm drawing a character from Darkstalkers, Garland. It's a bunch of random art I gotta do for GameCube.
Oh, finally the chat pops up. Let's see. Yay, Google. There we go.
Sometimes when I'm doing this, people are like, "But you're supposed to work on the Final Fantasy next." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." Like these little things, dude, actually help make all the other art better. Like I don't know how to describe,
Mm.
like sometimes just being able to say, "Okay, now I'm gonna, not taking time out of Kickstarter shit to do this. It's actually GameCube time, but I have no choice anyhow." But probably would have come up with something because when I have, dude, these Final Fantasy and X-Men pieces are gonna be monstrous, bro. So like having a bunch of little wins helps in between. You know what I mean?
Right.
These big pieces that are coming up. Or it'll be like, for 6 hours, I'll just be working on a part of it. And another 6 hours, I'll be working on a part of that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So with this stuff, it at least gives me a chance to say, hey, that got done. You know? I might end up having to do a few extra pieces than I initially intended. Because when I was initially doing the GameCube art, I made a lot of pieces bigger. They were supposed to be for 8.5 by 11,
Uh-huh.
all the art. And I made a lot of pieces 11 by 14 because I just didn't have the drawing down. I've gotten a lot better about drawing tiny now that I have to work with the ink,
Uh-huh.
But at the time, I wasn't that experienced with it. So I was like, well, technically, it is 2 drawings worth of stuff. So instead of someone got 2, they can pick 1. But then I'm like, it's never gonna go over. I just know it isn't. You know what I mean? No matter how
Right.
big it is, they're gonna want 2. So I may have to be like, well, I might go back and do some more Street Fighters. You know what I mean? Like, mm-hmm.
That fin thing goes all the way down his back in the game, doesn't it?
Yeah, I got it going up to here.
No, I'm not saying anything about your drawing. I was just thinking about just hit the character. I didn't want to look it up, so I was just.
You get a lot of weird feedback from your mic sometimes, man.
Really?
It's not feedback, just air. Like now, it's almost like a vacuum cleaner.
Let me raise it a little. Let me raise it above my nose. How about now?
A little better, yeah.
This could be my fat ass breathing.
I may have to use some of that money to get you the headset I got. Like, try this headset. Yeah, if only Brandon would stop breathing. Right, Kyle?
Johnny said that.
No, Kyle said stop breathing, Brandon. That was Kyle.
Oh, all I see is Johnny's talking.
Yeah, we might have to use some of those future sketch cover funds. And if we get no difference in the headset, then you can return it.
All right. Johnny asks if I'm drawing something tonight. Yeah, I'm finishing coloring a sketch cover in process. A Spider-Man one. And just updating my to-do lists and my documents. My Word docs. Excuse me.
You know, Joey was like, "You gotta draw this digitally and color digitally." The fucking Batgirl thing. I'm like, I can't do everything I do twice. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, I'll scan the lines and get around to that some other day. You know, like everything I do has got to be. Who cares? I got other shit to do. I appreciate the support, but
Right.
I mean, I can't do everything. Now I did. Here's the saucy version, and then here's the digital. I got a life. You know? You got it, Kyle.
It's weird. Like Kyle's messages in the chat for me is the only one that takes a while to load. Like it just popped up. Stop breathing, Brandon. I'm like, what the hell? But everybody else, like Johnny and Garland's, pop up. Yeah.
You know what I definitely have to redo is that fucking reptile. Fuck. Add that to my list. I must be doing it wrong. I'm just gonna line it right up with the way I did that Scorpion, that Sub-Zero, that was a little Joe Matty or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and just follow that. Like yeah, fits right in. They cloned him in the game. Why not in the art too?
Did you ever read Hunter Rose?
No.
But you know what it is, right? The book.
Mm-hmm. What are you talking about, Grendel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I read that.
Okay.
It's Grendel. I thought you were talking about a manga.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's a lot of different Grendels, man. Hunter Rose was a particular one.
Right.
It's the one who fought Batman and shit too. There's Grendel Prime, a bunch of fucking others. Yeah, somehow Kyle's doing it wrong.
You know, he jokes about the color crayon version of it, but like adult coloring books are all the rage now.
Hey, why do you think I draw these lines separately? In 10 years from now, it could be there's all these unlicensed coloring books in Artist Alley that it's a problem, and that's why, all these Zenoscope artists can't make money selling $75 prints anymore,
You don't have enough. No, you don't have enough adults drawing adult coloring books. We need more adults drawing adult coloring
I'll be
books.
honest, man. There was one guy who was like, "This is why I don't do any fan art," And meanwhile, all of his drawings are naked women. I'm like, no, you're drawing porn, fucker. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're just drawing porn now. Like, that's all you
Yeah,
do is just draw naked women. Like, okay, there's a plan. Well, don't worry, you're gonna be on their list soon too. You know what I mean? Look at all these fucking naked women in our list out. Like, believe me, they're coming for you. Plus, this is how I'm trying to train my proportions when I go to do con sketches and shit.
right.
I'm just trying to if you want the legs, I'll just draw the leg, or I'll just fucking fuck it. Hate the fuck.
Mm.
The legs will be like they go here and they fade away. So I got a few more months to make sure I can get this consistent. Yeah, the last time I drew this dude, other than the last time I did for Game Cave, uh, 1997. Like I know exactly where I was at.
Oh wow.
March '97. I was in this office in the middle of the night. My dad had the security company, so I was doing security. Then I had just got the trailer for Ocarina of the Time that was released exclusively to AOL. Nintendo had their own AOL channel, and so and I logged into this computer that I was totally not supposed to do that, but I didn't care. I didn't have a computer.
Right.
Log on their computer, logged into my friend's AOL account, downloaded the trailer. It took like 3 hours to download because they have no internet. And so I sat there and I bought the Game Fan, did a strategy guide for Darkstalkers, and they put a lot of concept art. Spent my time kind of working that out. So I learned how to do model sheets basically. And that's when I realized how Ed McGuinness was learning how to draw from Capcom books. This looks a lot like this Ed McGuinness guy. It's funny. And Joe Mad.
SketchCraft coloring book.
I am actively working on that. Don't laugh.
Just kidding.
No, I've not worked for Oni Press. I've talked to people on how to get involved with them, and they said that it's hard. I met some guys through Tom that do a lot of the variants for like Rick and Morty and shit. And I was showing him my Zim and things I could do, and he just didn't seem to be that interested, guys. So you know, so I wouldn't cross my fingers on that happening. You guys ever wonder why when you find an artist you really like, they seem to be at the same spot forever? You ever notice that? That even though maybe sometimes they go and do something here and there, but they always seem to come back to that one spot? Because that's
Same.
the spot that likes them. And my spot seems to be the internet. You know what I mean? Like, I only have the IDW stuff because I made friends with the
Tom.
Ape guys. No, not Tom. No, this
Oh.
goes back to
Or
Ape.
would you wait? Would you? The
Tom, I
big you
made,
say Big Dog Inc. or
no, I said IDW, Brandon.
oh IDW?
I'm
Okay.
actually paying attention, so don't correct me.
I was asking, not correcting.
Sweet. I appreciate it, though. But
What do you think's more popular, Naruto or Dragon Ball Z?
they're the same. One Piece. You should go onto Facebook and say you're doing a calendar and you need to take a poll on what's more popular. I love the guy, dude, but just do something you want to do, man. Stop taking polls and engaging your audience.
Right.
You know? Imagine Brian Singer going up there, 20,000 Leagues or X-Men 7. You decide. Let me know. You know, could you imagine?
Yeah.
You'd be like, just shut up, dude. Like, I just go make some shit. Don't worry about. Where'd my other pen go? Did I leave that out there? I may have left that out there. Oh, maybe I gotta back up.
Sure, you got a nice new lead holder in your pouch.
Got a couple actually.
Yeah, I know. You took one of mine.
I got too many of them. I'm getting all my shit mailed out this weekend, so you get your stuff. I didn't take one of yours. I told you to put the shit in your thing, and you was like, "No, we'll square up later." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And we both forgot,
Yeah,
as I knew we would.
pretty much. Oh, you got my text right that I got it all squared away for Vegas.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully they follow through on that.
She will. Even once they start like naming off the things, if it's wrong, I'll just email her and she'll fix it. Oh, those are cool hands.
Oh, thanks. I'm just thinking about like how much easier this is to do now than it was 2 years ago. Like, I can't begin to describe to you like that year I went back to Mad Engine. Um, Going on 3 years this May. Like that year I was there, dude. Like that was painful, man. Like I could feel every month my skills diminishing, like getting worse.
All right.
Just basic drawing skills. Like that Avengers thing I did, the gritty pencil one.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would look even better, but they were like, it's too good looking. Keep fuck it up more. It needs to be loose. It needs to be don't draw that right. Don't too much hand drawing. Less hand. Like I had to make it worse.
Yeah.
No, he didn't listen to it.
Listen to what?
Well, someday you'll see Kyle's text, and then you'll know.
See, all I can see is like my last thing I see is Johnny saying, "Brandon, did you catch up on Rob's soapbox and mic drop
Oh
moment?"
yeah, that's Johnny.
Oh, okay. You were saying Kyle. I was like, I don't see a Kyle's message. That's when you told me about when you called me earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just having a
He'll
time. I'll
never
put it.
he'll never listen to it. So you guys know. Like it took me almost like a month to get him to listen to the Collider thing. I can't even get him to watch Gurren Lagann, and he doesn't even know how much he's gonna end up liking that.
I got nothing. I got no comeback.
You end up going, that was fucking amazing. But it's just a pain. It's a pain to get Brandon to do anything. Takes a
Yep.
lot of effort. It does. It takes a lot of effort. I've just been focusing on the art. I'm like, someday I'll get him to watch some of this shit. Took what? Oh, like, almost 2 years to get you to watch Full Metal.
Yeah, yeah, but then like you said, Kill La Kill, and I watched that right away.
Yeah, and then for some reason you stopped listening to me when it come to anime.
You tell me to watch so much.
No, just instead of watching Rumpelstiltskin, you know,
That was like 2 years ago.
just make time, you know.
I'd say I'm getting a little better at my time management skills.
He's now watching Fate Stay Night. Get out of here. I'll be honest, I'd rather him watch Gurren Lagann. From the same guys ended up doing Kill La Kill, bro. It
Gotcha.
predates it. So,
I'm not saying it's not good. I'm not.
no. No, you're just saying, you probably never get around to watch it. I think you did say that, actually, to me not too long ago.
There's too many other stuff I gotta watch.
No, there isn't.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. So let's see if you can guess whose house I went to this morning. All right, let me give you a couple hints. You ready? Mr. Belvedere, Major League 1 and 2, Milwaukee Brewer.
Euchre.
Yep.
Yeah, Bob Euchre.
Yeah.
You forgot to say WrestleMania 3! WrestleMania! Come on, dude. Bob Euchre used to be
Well,
all over
I didn't want to
WWF,
say
dog.
wrestling.
Bob Euchre, dude!
Yeah.
I
Went to
missed the
his.
classic Euchre on fucking... Did you say anything to Euchre?
Oh yeah, I talked to him for like 20 minutes.
Did you ask him how Jesse Ventura was and shit? And like,
No,
see, you
I
didn't
don't
even
watch
ask a
wrestling.
good
I don't
question.
watch
Fuck
wrestling.
you. You wasted such a good
He
opportunity.
didn't want to talk about wrestling. He wanted to talk about sports.
That's a sport.
Yeah, but he wanted. Okay, sorry. He wanted to talk about
Ooh.
football and baseball. That's what he wanted to talk about. I let him dictate the conversation.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the steroids in baseball versus the steroids in WWF.
Oh, we didn't talk about that. But nah. It was funny. It was funny though, because like right when I got there, like it took me a second because it was my first stop, so I'm not a morning person, but I'm looking at him for a second, and I'm talking to his wife about she's picking out colors and stuff, and he came out in like a robe because he was about to swim. He had like the swimmer earplug things in and everything. And I'm looking at him like, I know this guy. Where do I know this guy from? And then it instantly clicked like 30 seconds later. I'm like, oh shit. And then started talking to him, and he was real nice, just chatting it up. My buddy's like, "Did you take a picture with him?" I'm like, first off, I
In
don't know
his
what I would.
robe and shit.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, he was in a robe and swimming trunks. Like, it would just look like I'm standing next to someone's grandpa. He's 82, so he's got like all white chest hair, white hair of.
Well, he's had white hair since he was like 20.
Right.
He's always had gray hair. He's like,
He's always looked old.
yeah. So he's never aged, really.
Right.
That's,
He's
I told
stayed
people
that age.
I wanna go fucking full gray soon, dude. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm permanently 38, you know, for the next 30 years. This is go full gray.
But yeah, real nice guy, real funny. I was like, but I was like, I'm not gonna take a picture of the dude in this bathing suit. And then even then, I'm like, I don't know what I would do with the picture. I mean, what am I gonna do with it? I'll post on Facebook, get a bunch of likes, and then nothing. You know. I talked to the
You
guy.
could
He was
save her
nice.
for when he dies, dude, and then you can get all these clicks and shit. You could be Bob Uecker, changed my
Yeah.
life, and you could do
He's
the
in,
Bob Uecker
he's,
fan art.
he's in
You
baseball
know
Hall of Fame.
what?
I could have got an autograph or something if I wanted, but I was like, I didn't want to bug the guy. I'm at his house. But nice guy.
I loved you in wrestling. That would be the best. He's like, I don't know. He
My
was
favorite
good.
thing is, well, my favorite thing is just the Major League One when Trey Sheen first comes out and he throws like the wildest pitch ever, and he's like a little wide right on that one. I like that shit.
Yeah, I don't care.
I know you don't.
Oh, that was not so difficult. Alright, let me post this shit, and then I'm gonna restart the stream really quickly and work on the world map for about an hour.
All right.
Just give me a second. Darkstalkers. Good job, iPhone. Be. This was like, hey Tom, so this TikTok dude got like guns or something? He's like, nope. I don't really know what it have any do. He was like, I don't really know how to make any sense in the cover. I'm like, none of this shit makes sense, Tom. Like, it would just kind of help add some, you know. No, you don't know. Gotcha. I was like, never mind.
You probably didn't even wait for him to respond either, did you?
Sure, I waited.
No, I mean, like, does it make sense? Nope. You just cut him off.
Yeah, so I'll work on this world map for about an hour, and then I'm gonna be offline while I work on Game Cave because I'm not streaming interior sequential panel art
Right.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Maybe when I do like a big page, I'll just record it on my end. You know, I might just record all of it so I have it, but I'm not gonna stream it. But I don't know about that. I don't know about all of it, but definitely like the bigger stuff. Yeah, spoilers exactly. That's just the obvious, you know. So like, paste publish. Where'd that? That'll work. You should have been like, I loved you in the Naked Gun, an airplane,
All confused, like,
Undertaker versus Undertaker, Police Story, Forbidden Planet. So I'll ink this sucker up in the morning or tomorrow night, however that works out. And I will paint for 1 hour. Probably paint 1 hour, let it dry overnight, paint another hour. That's basically how it's gonna go.
On that Spider-Man, I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
I know you mentioned earlier something about trying a pink to a, was it purple background, blue background
Just do whatever you did before, man.
with the greens.
I don't know, man. It needs to have a warm underlight because he's being lit warmly. So did the green have a it went to yellow to green?
It went from like uh, a darkish green to a lime green with a little bit of blue in the dark green, and then a yellow kind of
I
blended
don't
in
know.
the
Send me
middle.
photos, man.
All
I'll
right.
work it out in about. Took me about 3 seconds. I don't like talking about art. Oh, pick a color and then do this thing with it, and like it's not a good idea, man. You're not gonna know what I'm talking about. All right, cool. So I'll be back on here in just a minute.
All right. Ouch.
Shut up, Brandon. Brandon doesn't know when to shut up. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. Dum 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 dum. Let's call Brandon on the Skype. Do 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 do. Let's call